Minglaba and welcome to MI Radio's Myanmar Today. I'm Agajo. Today we have reports on State Councillor hosting a video conferencing regarding the safe positioning of traditional market. Another story on mask-wearing campaign held at Insein Market. Another report which China classifies all of its counties as COVID-19 low-risk areas. And another report is on 61 parks in Yangon, providing public with a wide range of health-related activities. All of that on this edition of Myanmar Today, but for now, let's take a look at what's happening in local news. Myanmar citizens who wanted to come back from Singapore arrived at the Yangon International Airport at 3:15 p.m. yesterday. The Myanmar National Airlines carried 145 persons in the third relief flight arranged by the government. On arrival at the airport, the Ministry of Labor, Immigration and Population, the Ministry of Health and Sports, and the Yangon Region government helped for the 21-day quarantine period at the designated places and the respective hotels in line with the guidelines of the immigration and healthcare processes. In accordance with the directives of National Level Central Committee on Prevention, Control and Treatment of Coronavirus Disease 2019, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in coordination with the Myanmar Embassy in Singapore and other relevant ministries in Myanmar, arranged the first relief flight for 144 citizens on 7 May and 144 persons on 9 May and 145 persons on 13 May, totaling 433 persons. A health survey over coronavirus will be conducted in Daya and Damwi townships to prevent and control coronavirus disease in Yangon region. It is learned from a work coordinating meeting. The coordination meeting was held in Hall 3 of the Yangon Regional Government Office on 11 May, attended by Yangon Regional Chief Minister U Pyo-min and officials and the committee members of the new Coronavirus Control and Emergency Response Committee. More than 1 million people, including the employees from Daya Township, work establishments and factories, will have to undergo a medical checkup to find out whether they are infected with coronavirus or not on 16th May in cooperation with the regional health team, according to Umya Mintu, Daya Township Local representative. Exports of finished industrial goods slightly fell to $5.634 billion between 1st October and 1st May in the current fiscal year 2019 and 2020, which is a decrease of $36 million compared with the corresponding period of the previous financial year, according to the Ministry of Commerce. As per figures provided by the ministry, the exports of the finished industrial goods totaled $5.67 billion during the same period in the 2018-2019 fiscal year. Additionally, the manufacturing sector has attracted the foreign investments of $432.74 million in quarter one of the current fiscal year, according to the Director of the Investment and Company Administration. Myanmar's manufacturing sector is largely concentrated in garment and textiles produced on the cutting, making, and packing basis, and it contributes to the country's GDP to a certain extent. The government of People's Republic of China donated a third batch of the medical supplies to aid the containment and treatment of COVID-19 in a ceremony at the office of the Ministry of Health and Sports in Yangon yesterday. The medical supplies donation, including COVID-19 test kits for 150,000 persons and 18,000 sets of personal protective equipment, were handed over by Chinese Ambassador Mr. Chen Hai to Director General from Department of Medical Research Professor Dr. Tan Tong. On behalf of the Myanmar government, returned document of honor to Chinese Ambassador Mr. Chen Hai. That's all with the local news, and now we will move on to our first report. Regarding the secure and systematic management of the traditional market in the wake of COVID-19, State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi hosted a video conferencing with the local government officials from Magui Region, Shan State, and Naypyidaw on 12th May. Pyo Diritu and Yenai have the story.
As the traditional markets are normally crowded with the shoppers and shopkeepers, 2 meters of social distance apart between the buyers and seller is becoming the cherished while processing the preventive measures to keep the infection of COVID-19 under control. The municipal authorities across the country are also struggling to position the market vendors at a safe distance from one another. Regarding the secure and systematic management of traditional markets in the wake of COVID-19, State Councillor Do Aung San Suu Kyi hosted a video conferencing with local government officials from Magwe region, Shan State, and Naypyidaw on 12 May. His Excellency Do Aung San Suu Kyi, State Councillor, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, said,
The government regulations on COVID-19 have been issued for a while now, so people have started getting tired of some restrictions. Especially shopping is also a must-have for daily consumption. But with the crowded people on the market, it can be a dangerous problem. From one market to others, then the whole country can be dangerous. So we are trying that the markets have to be regulated with safe distance and secure regulations.
The idea of positioning the markets at a safe distance from a buyer to others and between buyers and sellers had started in Myanmar Township, which is a township of Pakhogu district in the Magwe region. The local government officials from Myanmar have come up with simple and innovative idea, and the market has been divided into sections with painted lines to keep each seller 6 feet apart while allowing shoppers to keep a proper distance to go shopping. Utan Khai is a township administrator of Myanmar Township in Magwe region, and he is also one of the officials who have implemented the idea of positioning the traditional markets in Myanmar. He shares how the idea originated and how the local government officials have implemented the idea and how they solved the difficulties.
April 17 ရက်နေ့ထုံးလိုင်းနဲ့ဆိုကျွန်တော်တို့အဆင်ပြေတယ်ထုံးလိုင်းကြလို့ပြက်သွား April 23 24မှာမိုးရွာလို့ထုံးလိုင်းကမရှိတော့ဒုံရင်မတရားတော့ပူတက်နေကျွန်တော်တို့လည်း
We started that the market has been divided into sections with painted lines on 11th of April. But when it started raining, the painted lines were erased and the public were crawl in the market again. If we did only the painted lines, they could be possibly erased by rain. So we have to be reset to 7 feet apart with visible nylon straps and instead of painted line. At the entrance of the market, the masks are sold with 300 just per mask.
The state councillor recommended using the reusable homemade mask instead of ready-made one-time used masks to save the expense. Mandalay region government issued a statement on 8 May that one does not wear the face mask properly. One have to buy 2 masks with 1,000 shots. 38 people were charged within 2 hours of a campaign by the Township Administration Regional Development Committee. If someone continually breaks the regulations, he or she will be taken the legal action. The government has banned gatherings of more than 5 people at 15 May, and no new extension announcement has been issued so far. According to the announcement issued by the Ministry of Health and Sports on the evening of 13 May, the total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Myanmar reached 181. There are also 3 new recovered cases, totaling 79 cases announced. Of those 79 recovered cases, 66 recovered patients have been discharged from the hospital, and the rest are being put into still hospital quarantine. I am Jyoti Ritu. This is news reporting from Insein Radio.
That's the report on State Councillor hosting a video conferencing regarding the safe position of the traditional market. With the aim to prevent the widespread of the COVID-19, several social and civil organizations have taken up a campaign donating basic commodities to the common people. One among these donations is giving free masks to the public for the prevention of the virus. One social organization held a campaign at Insein Market on 13th May, where the public were given free masks and tracts on prevention of the virus. We listen while Tess the full report.
As the people going back to work makes Yangon crowded almost everywhere, it is also worrisome that COVID-19 will spread among the people. But as the people have to go for work for their livelihood, they cannot stay at home for long, despite the release of the order. However, seeing the potential way to spread of COVID-19, several civil and social organizations are involved in taking measurements, helping the public by donating basic commodities, delivering them to the doorstep of the receivers, helping the public to stay at home. One of another most important ways to stop the widespread of the virus is wearing masks all the time, especially when going out. Therefore, Supersonic Social Health Team is one of the organizations which has been donating basic commodities to the common people in time of need, and on 13th of May, this organization also held a campaign where the organizations donated more than 13,000 masks to random people at Insein Market in Yangon, while the volunteers helped handing the people free masks along with some tracts on awareness of COVID-19. This is mainly aimed to help the customers and consumers prevent themselves from contracting the virus by wearing masks and further widespread. Speaking to the media, Wu Pyohan, Yangon Hluttaw representative from Insein Constituency 2 said,
Starting
from 13th May, the fine will be paid for not wearing the mask as it has already been issued. Therefore, with the aim to help the public wear masks, we plan to give away masks in 13 different markets in Insein Township. We will give masks free of charge and help them understand the importance of wearing masks. So we are going to help the public, and we also have the upcoming program to donate masks.
Speaking on the concern issue of the public going back to work and the number of people going out, Wu Pyohan also said,
the
main reason for the people going out is mostly because of the difficulty they have in earning their livelihood. However, it is extremely important to wear masks and take precautionary measures to prevent ourselves from being infected whenever we go out. Make sure you wear masks. If possible, wear gloves as well, wash hands frequently, avoid the crowds. If we can follow these steps, I'm sure we can prevent the spread of the virus to a certain level.
Wu Teng-han is the chairman of YCDC in Insein Township, and he spoke to ML Radio about thermal measurements the government is taking to prevent the spread of COVID-19, and he said,
Starting from today, we are giving masks to the public for free in this township, and we tell them the importance of wearing masks. We also give tracts to the public on what to follow and how to stay preventive by collaborating with the Ministry of Information and Department of Public Relations. On the other hand, the plan to find the people who don't wear masks will be implemented, but to be honest, we don't want to give extra burden to the public. This is why we are giving masks for free along with awareness paperwork on it.
Majimu is also a greengrocer at Insein Market, and she spoke to ML Radio on getting free masks for common people like her, and she said,
It is a good thing that we are giving masks for free, which helps us prevent ourselves from the virus. When the virus was first reported, the mask was so expensive, which went up to nearly 1,000 kyat in price. But now we can buy 3 masks with just 1,000 kyat. Apart from wearing masks, I frequently wash my hands. I use hand sanitizer, and I do my best to keep social distance while contacting people.
This is Williamson for MI Radio.
That's the report on mask wearing campaign held at Insein Market. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. China classified all of its counties as low risk for the novel coronavirus disease COVID-19 on May 7th, confirmed by Mrs. Mi Fan, a spokesperson for the National Health Commission, at a press conference in Beijing. We will find out the factors behind this classification and the future circumstances of it in the report by our reporter, David Tanner.
China classified all of its counties as low risk for the COVID-19 virus on May 7th, which has been confirmed by Ms. Mi Fang, a spokesperson for the National Health Commission, at a press conference in Beijing. However, it has also been added on by Ms. Mi that there are still uncertainties regarding the pandemic, calling for continuous efforts in patient treatment and epidemic control measures to prevent an infection rebound. We will hear more about this from Masuta Mu of China Media Group CRI Myanmar Department.
တရုတ်နိုင်ငံမှာအခုဆိုရင်လမ်းမတွေထပ်မှာပေါ့နော်လူတွေအပြည့်ပြန်လဲတွေ့နေရပါပြီဒီလေပတ်မှုများတဲ့နေရာတချို့မှာဆိုရင်လေအရင်ကလိုပဲလူတွေပြန်လဲမြင်တွေ့နေရပြီဖြစ်သလိုစက်ရုံအလုပ်ရုံတွေမှာလေလုပ်ငန်းခွင်ပြန်လဲဝင်ရောက်လာကြတဲ့သူတွေရှိနေကြပါပြီအဲကျောင်းတွေဆိုရင်လေကူးစက်ရောဂါကာလတော့မှာပေါ့နော်အကုန်ပိတ်ထားတာလေအခုဆိုရင်တချို့ပြည်နယ်တွေမှာမူလတန်းကစပြီးတော့ပေါ့နော်အထက်တန်းအထိကောလိပ်တွေအစုံပေါ့နော်အကုန်လုံးကျောင်းတွေတဖြည်းဖြည်းပြန်ဖွင့်နေကြပါပြီပြီးတော့ကူးစက်ရောဂါအသစ်ပြန်လေဖြစ်ပွားမှုနှုန်းရလက်ကလည်းပြည်တွင်းကူးစက်မှုမတွေ့ရတော့ဘဲနဲ့ပြည်ပနိုင်ငံကနေပေါ့နော်ဝင်လာတဲ့သူတွေစီမှာပဲတွေ့ရတာများတဲ့အတွက်တရုတ်နိုင်ငံမှာရှိတဲ့နေရာတော်တော်များများကတော့ရောဂါကူးစက်နိုင်ခြေအတော်လေးနေပါမှုရှိတဲ့နေရာတွေအဖြစ်ဒီလိုအချက်လက်တွေကိုကြည့်ခြင်းအပြင်သိနိုင်ပါမယ်
In China's case, reopening had an early look for other countries into possible ways to leave lockdown and reopen the economy safely and what the post-COVID-19 business environment can look like. Reopening had happened with caution and only took place when the conditions become ripe in China. And since the situations improved, China has adopted an approach to reopening different parts of the country and different sectors. Things are being done slowly and cautiously. Masuta Mu added on more about the situations and her experiences in China.
ကျမတို့ဆိုရင်ဒီယောဂကာဝယ်ဖို့ပေါ့နော်ကိုယ့်ဘာသာအခန်းထဲနေနေအပြင်မထွက်ဖြစ်ပဲအထီးကျန်နေတာ3လလောက်ရှိပြီမနေ့ကတော့စားချင်တာလေးဝယ်ခြင်းလို့ပေါ့နော်အနီးကဈေးဝယ်စင်တာကိုသွားကြည့်တော့လူတွေလမ်းမထက်မှာတွေ့ရတာအများကြီးပါပဲအရင်လိုပေါ့နော်တိတ်ဆိတ်၆ကက်နေတဲ့နေရက်တွေတရုတ်မှာကုံဆုံးသွားပြီလို့ပြောလို့ရပါတယ်ဈေးဝယ်စင်တာတွေမှာလည်းကူးစက်ရောဂါဖြစ်တဲ့အချိန်နဲ့ပေါ့နော်တခြားစီပစ္စည်းတွေလည်းစုံလင်တွေ့ရတယ်အရင်ကထက်ပစ္စည်းတွေစုံလင်ထည့်ပြီးထားတာကိုဈေးဝယ်စင်တာတွေမှာတွေ့ရတယ်ဒီတော့ကျမဆိုရင်အထီးကျန်မှုတွေပျောက်ပြီးတော့ပျော်ရွှင်မှုကိုခံစားရတယ်ကြောက်စိတ်တွေပျောက်ပြီးတော့အာရုံသစ်တွေရရှိတယ်
We will also hear more about how China has been handling the economy sector and how things have been deferred compared to pre-COVID-19 circumstances.
လက်ရှိတရုတ်နိုင်ငံရဲ့စီးပွားရေးအခြေအနေကတော့ပုံမှန်လေပတ်မှုတွေပြန်လဲစတင်လာပါပြီအဓိကနိုင်ငံခြားကိုစီးပစ္စည်းတွေတင်ပို့ရတာအတော်လေးများတာတွေ့ရတယ်အရင်ကခီးတဲ့တင်လေရင်တွေကအခုဆိုရင်ကုန်တင်လေရင်တွေဖြစ်လာတာကိုတွေ့ရတယ်အခုချိန်မှာစီးပွားရေးကမကောင်းဘူးဆိုရင်ဘလို့နီးလန်းနဲ့ကိုယ်နိုင်ငံအတွက်စီးပွားရေးလုံးဆောင်ရမလဲဆိုတာတရုတ်တွေအမြဲတမ်းရှာကြံနေအောင်တွေ့ရတယ်တရုတ်နိုင်ငံကတော့စီးပွားရေးကန်ထားမှာရက်တက်မနေဘဲနဲ့နေရာပေါင်းစုံနီးလန်းပေါင်းစုံနဲ့ထိုးဖောက်လုံးဆောင်နေတာကိုတွေ့ရတယ်ဒါကစီးပွားရေးအပိုင်းပေါ့နော်
Even after the opening from the lockdown and being classified as risk-free area in most parts of China, an increasing number of companies are marketing their products via live streaming platforms where they can interact with potential buyers, answer their questions, and show their products online. This way of reaching out to the consumers is being viewed as a game changer for the e-commerce sector that can really help businesses in rural areas, which is one of the great news of people adapting the situations in all sorts of different methods that works and sometimes even better than its typical counterparts. Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
Thus, the report on China classifying all of its counties as COVID-19 low-risk areas. The government early April issued the directives to the public to stay at home with regard to the spread of the ongoing global pandemic of COVID-19, adding that the governmental departments, entrepreneurs, and the public must avoid public gatherings and events as well as festivities, with a ban on opening of the cinemas and summer courses. It was reported by Yangon Laogai.
The government early April issued the directives to the public to stay at home with regard to the spread of the ongoing global pandemic of COVID-19, adding that the governmental departments, entrepreneurs, and the public must avoid public gatherings and events as well as festivities with a ban on opening of the cinemas and summer courses. The populous Yangon, having many of high-rise buildings, is really suffocating, where confirmed cases for COVID-19 have been found higher than other regions and states, and some of its townships have been placed on semi-lockdown as well. At such a time, the government offices and some factories and companies have already begun resuming operations as of early May. Yangon, the commercial hub of the country, has become alive with a teeming crowd, and other places like parks are the same matter as well. With the purpose of providing the people of staying home affected by the COVID-19 with health-related activities in order to relieve from the heat of the summer, the playgrounds, parks and gardens, Department of Yangon City Development Committee has kept opening 61 parks without off days, except some changes in opening hours. U Kokolin, head of Department of Playgrounds, Parks and Gardens of Yangon City Development Committee, said,
The parks in Yangon are opened regularly, but the opening hours are changed from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. The matters related to the public gatherings and events are not allowed in the parks. We are not responsible for healthcare services of the visitors to the park because it is the business of the Department of Public Health. The measures for healthcare are under negotiation. No particular directives on entertainment programs in the post-period of COVID-19 have reached us so far. There are a total of 61 parks in Yangon, and all are allowed opening to the public.
While some parks are being upgraded almost every day, measures to disinfect benches and spaces for doing sports and garage containers are being taken, according to the Department of Playgrounds, Parks and Gardens of the YCDC. Usomo, a vacationer to the park from Laintaya Township, said,
We have to spend most of our time staying at home because of the spread of COVID-19 infection. Going to the park to relax in such a hot season is our pleasure. We do physical exercise and breathe in fresh air. Growing number of visitors to the park can cause a risk because it is some kind of crowd. The government issued out an order not to gather more than 5 people. The virus can be infected between humans, and at the time it is not easy to know how to be infected.
10% of Yangon people don't wear face masks now. The government announced that legal actions will be taken against those failing to wear masks with fine and imprisonment. If someone goes to the parks where it might have crowds, a mask should be worn and hands should be also washed. There must be about 6 feet apart from one another, according to Usomo. Mayadana Tui, who came to Mahabandula Park with her friends from North Okalapa Township, said everyone should follow the directives and guidelines adopted by the government. If so, it will be the best way for prevention. Observing the rules can give protection not only to our families but also to our surroundings. Mayadana Tui, a vacationer to the park from North Okalapa, said,
Opening the park is a good sign and it also supports the health. The park can give peace of mind to the comers and they are free outlet for the people. The comers to the park should be a particular distance apart from one another. I believe that if the people follow the directive and guidelines adopted by the government, the virus will be well prevented. It will prevent the families and their environment from the virus.
And that's all we have for today's reports, and it's time to check on some international news here on Myanmar Today. The number of people who were killed in a militant attack on a maternity ward in the Afghan capital has risen to 24. Mothers, newborn babies, and nurses were among the victims. At least 16 people were injured, the health ministry said. Tuesday attack in Kabul prompted widespread condemnation. No group has said it carried it out. In its second incident that day, a suicide bomber killed at least 32 people at a funeral in Nagara in the east of the country. Scores of UK and US children have been affected by a rare inflammatory disease linked to coronavirus. A number of children have also been diagnosed with the disease, which can cause symptoms similar to toxic shock syndrome as well in Europe. Up to 100 UK children have been affected. Some have needed intensive care while others recovered quickly. In April, NHS doctors were told to look out for a rare but dangerous reaction in children. This was prompted by 8 children becoming ill in London, including a 14-year-old who died. Doctors said all 8 children had similar symptoms when they were admitted to Evelina London Children's Hospital, including a high fever, rash, red eyes, swelling, and general pain. Indonesia is facing a blood shortage brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic and the fasting month of Ramadan, officials said. The problem is prevalent nationwide, but capital Jakarta and other COVID-19 red zones are facing a big crisis, with the drop in blood supply started back in March. Head of the Indonesian Red Cross Blood Donation Unit, Linda Lukitari Waseso said. This is most likely because these places have implemented the large-scale social restrictions which limit people's movement. Dr. Waseso said Jakarta currently is seeking a blood shortage of up to 70%, while the nation's average blood shortage is 20%. The shortage ranges between 30 and 60% in different localities in Indonesia. With offices closed to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, blood donation drives at these venues have to be called off, leading to a significant dip in blood supply. Only 5% of the Spain's population has been infected by the novel coronavirus, though that figure climbs to more than 10% in Madrid and areas in the center of the country, according to a study released by the government on Wednesday, May 13th. Spain is one of the hardest hit nations in the global pandemic, with more than 27,000 deaths and around 228,600 cases confirmed by testing since the outbreak began in China late last year. The study launched on April 27th was based on serology tests to show exposure to coronavirus and took samples from 60,000 people. Some studies have shown that a portion of the people infected by the virus will show no symptoms but can still transmit the disease. The Spanish study confirmed the virus circulated more in the center of the country, which paid the highest price in fatalities. And that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I am Aga Jo. Have a great day, everyone. Stay home, stay safe, practice good personal hygiene, and follow instructions strictly, and always be on high alert for important news. I'll see you again. Goodbye.